Japan has just landed its biggest arms export deal since World War II, a $6.5 billion warship contract with Australia. Beating out Germany, Tokyo will now supply 11 next-gen stealth frigates as Canberra ramps up its military to counter China. This is not just a ship deal, it's a strategic realignment. Japan is back in the export game, and the message to Beijing couldn't be clearer. Australia will acquire 11 Mogami-class frigates from Japan's Mitsubishi Heavy Industries to enhance its navy, according to Defence Minister Richard Marles. Described as Japan's largest defence export deal since World War II, the $6.5 billion agreement will span the next decade. This acquisition is part of Australia's significant military overhaul, aimed at strengthening its naval capabilities with long-range firepower to counter China. The country plans to grow its major warship fleet from 11 to 26 over the next 10 years.
Clearly the biggest defence industry agreement that will ever have been struck between Japan and Australia. In fact, it's really one of the biggest defence exports that Japan has ever engaged in. And as I say, it is a very significant moment in our bilateral relationship.
Japan, too, welcomed Australia's decision to sign a $6.5 billion frigate contract with Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, Japanese Defence Minister Gen Nakatani said on August 5th.
This decision is a testament that the trust in our country's high technology and the importance of the self-defense forces and the Australian Army's interoperability are highly regarded. For our country, this is a huge step towards a heightened level of our security cooperation with Australia, who is a special strategic partner, and we welcome the decision by the Australian government.
Mitsubishi Heavy Industries was awarded the tender over Germany's ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems, TKMS. Mogami-class warships are advanced stealth frigates equipped with a potent array of weapons. Marles said they would replace Australia's ageing fleet of Anzac-class vessels with the first Mogami-class ship to be commissioned by 2030. The deal further cements a burgeoning security partnership between Australia and Japan. Japan is deepening cooperation with US allies in the Asia-Pacific region that, like Tokyo, are involved in territorial disputes with China. Both Japan and Australia are members of the Quad Group alongside India and the United States. Japanese government spokesman Yoshimasa Hayashi said on August 5th that the deal was proof of trust in our nation's high-level technology and the importance of interoperability between Japan's self-defense forces and the Australian military. It was also a big step toward elevating the national security cooperation with Australia, which is our special strategic partner, Hayashi told reporters in Tokyo. The order is Japan's biggest defence export deal since World War II, according to local media. Defence Industry Minister Pat Conroy said the Mogami-class frigates were capable of launching long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles. The Mogami contract marks a turning point as a lack of commercial knowledge in forming defence contracts had hamstrung Japanese companies even after Tokyo pivoted to promoting arms exports. Pat Conroy, Australia's Minister for Defence Procurement, said Mitsubishi Heavy Industries' bid was the clear winner in terms of cost, capability and schedule, with the first ship to be delivered by 2029. He said the Japanese proposal was cheaper over the life of the frigate contract as the Mogami design needed fewer crew on board, was cheaper to arm and had a longer hull life. The first 3 ships will be built in Japan, but 8 will be constructed in Western Australia by Austal, an Australian company. Conroy said a company had been formed under Austal's ownership to complete the work and that Australia's government would have a sovereign preference share. The contest between the two frontrunners of Japan and Germany had been pitched as a choice to deepen ties with Japan versus a more tried and tested route favoured by Australia's Navy, which has German-designed vessels in its fleet. The the Mogami operates with about 90 crew, down from about 120 on the current generation of warships. It is now in service for the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force.
The Mogami-class frigate is the best frigate for Australia. This is currently a frigate which is in service in the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force. They operate the Mogami-class vessel. It is a next-generation vessel. It is stealthy. It has 32 vertical launch cells capable of launching long-range missiles.
German firm TKMS, previously branded as ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems, had been considered for the deal, but its Meko A200 vessel was considered second best to the Japanese model, including over concerns about the timeline for delivery and putting the ships into service. Japan has not previously manufactured frigates for other nations, while TKMS has sold to navies around the world. Both bids included heavy lobbying of the federal government. The Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, met with his Japanese counterpart Shigeru Ishiba on the sidelines of the G7 summit in Canada in June, as well as with Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Defence is expected to enter into binding commercial contracts for the deal by 2026. Marl said Japan beat out the German option based on the capability of the new vessels. The Mogami frigate has a range of up to 10,000 nautical miles, is fitted with surface-to-air missiles and anti-ship missiles, and comes with sophisticated vertical launch capability. In terms of cost, capability and meeting our schedule of delivery, the Mogami-class frigate was the clear winner, Conroy said.